A recent cyber security breach affected 3 commercial banks in the Virgin Islands, but the incident almost went unnoticed by the unsuspecting public. The locally based Scotiabank, Banco Popular, and First Bank Limited were affected by the security breach on November 12th, but did not publicly disclose any information about the breach. On November 25th, Premier and Finance Minister Dr. Dearlanda Smith broke the silence on the matter. The Finance Minister said the local banking regulator, the Financial Services Commission, moved swiftly to address the problem. He said the banks assured him that account holders who lost money would have their accounts restored to their correct balances.
Within the past few days, the Visa debit cards issued by a couple of banks stationed here in the BVI had been compromised. Our banking regulator, the Financial Services Commission, has moved swiftly to address this problem, and as of this date, we can confirm that appropriate action has been taken to ensure that the requisite steps to safeguard the accounts of the customers of these banks have been taken. Some customers within the BVI have been affected, although as of now, it certainly appears that the numbers are being quite low. I'm also assured that the banks will take the actions necessary to ensure that compromised accounts will be reinstated to their correct balances.
On November 22nd, the website techworm.net said First Bank USVI reported a massive security breach, leaving the majority of its Visa debit card holders restricted from accessing or using their accounts, while some reported thousands of dollars stolen from their accounts. On November 23rd, Alana Alexander, Marketing Communications Manager for First Bank USVI, reported that the breach happened on Wednesday, November 12th, and affected First Bank locations in the USVI and the BVI. The question remains, are BVI banks vulnerable for further cyber attacks? The Premier expressed optimism when questioned by one journalist whose own account was hacked during a recent breach.
My account was started out yesterday, but I've been told to continue to monitor it because even though I've been refunded, it's possible the money can come out again. Anyway, based on your discussions with the bank about this issue and in terms of the requisite steps that you spoke about earlier on, are you satisfied that everything is being done to give customers this peace of mind that their accounts probably wouldn't go through that sort of thing again?
I am satisfied. The Financial Services Commission has had discussions with the banks, and they have been assured that no one will lose any monies deposited from the accounts.
The Premier also stated that in the event a bank in the territory fails, the financial assets of individual account holders are not protected from being lost without direct cash injections to cover these losses by government. He said government already has a draft legislation to ensure the deposits of account holders in the BVI up to $100,000 per account.
We believe that each and every person in this territory who have accounts in the banks here must be assured that their deposits are always secure. It is also a fact that although the banks in the BVI are also very closely regulated, and although deposits in their main branches are insured by the likes of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, these deposits are not and have never been insured in the BVI. In the event, therefore, of a very unlikely event of a failure of a bank in the territory, the individual account holder is not protected from their financial assets, and the relevant bank being lost without direct cash injections to cover those losses by government. To address this matter, and also to implement a mechanism that would prevent a bank failure, and I've been doing this, pursuing this matter for several years, government worldwide generally go a step further than mere regulation and implement deposit insurance programs. Pursuant to this, we currently now have in draft legislation to ensure the deposits of account holders in the BVI for up to $100,000 per account. This will happen through the establishment of a deposit insurance system, much like that of the FDIC and the CDIC, and is scheduled to be brought into effect late in 2015. Up to late last week, I held discussion with senior officials in the International in the International Association of Deposit Insurers and the CDIC, with a view to having a Virgin Islands Deposit Insurance Corporation up and running. We are already associate members of the IADI.
Security breaches have happened in the U.S. as well as other parts of the world. Global banking conglomerate HSBC's Turkey operations were also hacked on November 12, and some 2.7 million customers' account numbers, card expiry dates, and cardholder information may have been stolen by the hackers.